What's the dumbest shit someone ever said? I was once watching Walking with Dinosaurs, the David Attenborough documentary with my ex. A T-Rex and some other big-ass dinosaur have a fight and the T-Rex gets faced. It's lying on a lakeside dying and my ex says www. Isn't there anything the camera crew can do for it? I drink lemongrass tea to offset the damage I do to my body by smoking. My ex was under the impression that German Shepherds are only able to learn and understand commands if they are said in German. This conversation happened a week ago. I work at Home Depot, paint department. Customer: hey, this tarp is 8 times 11, but I need one that's 11 times 8. Me, laughing, that's funny. Customer: deadly serious look. Me, wait, are you serious? Customer: yeah, I'm effing serious. Me, just turn it. Customer: oh, just turn it, huh guy? I'll go to Lowe's and find someone who knows what the F they're talking about. Me, laughing again, okay, dude, I still doubt someone out there is that stupid. I wonder if I was just being messed with. A coworker was telling me he was mad he wasted his time saying The Hobbit. He was mad because it was a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. Like legitimately. He noted it had the magic invisible ring, the same. Little people, wizards. He called it a bad D&D movie. There was a senator or congressman who objected to putting more Marines on Guam because he was concerned it would overbalance the island and cause it to flip over. The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over, makes hand gestures indicating something flipping, and capsize. Senator: we don't anticipate that. Navy Admiral: do they have birds in Germany? Yes. Wow. She blow my dick like a cello, Lil Yachty. Are the moon and the sun the same thing? My 26 years old coworker: my ex once told me that the sun was not a star, it was a sun, and that seahorses were mythical creatures and didn't really exist. If you touch someone with hepatitis C, you'll get it, just like when you touch someone with diabetes. Looking at the nutrition facts of a salt shaker, oh my gosh, salt has a lot of sodium in it. A friend of mine was away for a couple years, and one day when he was back we were driving up the mountain to my mom's house. Along the road there are a lot of huge boulders. He said, in all seriousness, wow, those rocks really grew big while I was away. I was stunned. After a minute processing that, I told him that rocks don't grow. He insisted that they do. Okay buddy, I've loved reading all the replies to this. A lot of fun. Anyway, in his defense, a little. This area we were driving is literally going up a mountain, so high cliffs and many rocks. A few new homes were built and a lot of brush and trees were removed. I think things being cleared away made these couple boulders look bigger than the last time he seen them, which was about 2 years. I felt bad for him. He was really embarrassed about it. Is there a different sun for each state? My sister's dance teacher. My first grade teacher and I got into an argument if hummingbirds actually existed. I said they did. She said they didn't. I went home crying to my mom about it. Next parent-teacher conference my mom was like, oh, and by the way, hummingbirds are real, so don't tell my daughter they aren't anymore. A lunar eclipse is impossible because the sun can never get between the earth and the moon. Well, the latter is correct, but my roommate thinks that his skin is dark BCS he drinks a lot of coffee and tea. He said that to me and he was really serious. I'm an identical twin, and I once had someone seriously ask me if I ever forget which twin I am. No, I do not sometimes think I am my brother. One of my friends believed that if someone who was paralyzed was thrown off a tower, they would survive. My brother recently started working out to work on his weight and health. When he told me that, I said, if you really cared about your health, you'd stop smoking. He replied seriously, smoking gives my lungs exercise. He wasn't even joking. One of my friends thought 9/11 was one plane that flew into the first tower, reversed out, and then flew into the second tower. It seems to me, from what I understand from doctors, that a rape victim falling pregnant is really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try and shut that whole thing down. Senate candidate Todd Akin: literally the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Ever. My brother-in-law once went on a rant about how we should kick all French people out of America because they were our enemies in WW2. Smart he is not. Edit. I feel that I should clarify, For all the people bringing up Vichy France, he had no idea that France was invaded by Germany, and was under the impression that France was a German ally from the start of the war. I'm not sure how he came to this conclusion. Either his history teachers failed him or maybe he just slept through history class. Who knows? In 1899, the commissioner of the U.S. Patent Office, one Mr. Charles Dewey, said everything that can be invented has been invented. I was on the school bus one day and this girl saw my yarmulke and asked, "OMG, are you British?" And I said, "No. I'm Jewish." And she said, "Ugh, same sit." I still think about that to this day. On a high school trip to France, one girl said the following 3 things. 1. From the plane. Part 1. Wow, France is so green. Did you know it's all astroturf? 2. From the plane. Part 2. How can the pilot tell the difference between the sky and the ocean because they are both blue? 3. Upon seeing the scale model replica of the Statue of Liberty, she asked, "Does every country get one?" These are my strongest memories from that trip because I couldn't stop laughing. On New Year's, my close friend said, "If there's going to be a terrorist attack, I hope we get to see it live while watching the New York special." She also thought a drive north would cost more gas money, but was okay with it because going south was all downhill. Also told her kids, "You better not get any computer viruses on that laptop. I don't want to get sick." I was once asked if I was Chinese or Asian, and then when they realized their error, asked if I was Korean or Asian. He died of natural causes, like a bear or something. I don't fly on planes at night because they don't have headlights and the pilots can't see where they are flying. For those who don't know, flying is the sound an airplane's wing makes when it clips a power line. I personally believe that US Americans are unable to do so because, some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and, I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and, the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and, I believe that they should, our education over here in the US should help the US, should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children. Kate Upton. One friend noticed another friend whip out a pack of 5 gum. He got mad and said that he was the one that discovered 5 gum and that the other friend was copying him. This was a 10-minute argument around 2009 when it was still pretty new. "You copied my gum, bro." Me and my sister saw Straight Outta Compton in theaters. Some girl in front of us saw it with her boyfriend, and after it ended, she literally said, "Babe, don't judge me, but they were from Compton, right?" I dated a guy once who asked how I could pee with a tampon in. I laughed thinking he was kidding, but he was serious. So I explained that there are 2 different locations for these things. And he laughed at me and said, "No, there isn't. If you have an extra hole down there, something's wrong with you." I was stunned. We were in high school, so the relationship lasted a little longer after that, but not by much. I had an ex that thought all cats in existence were male because he had never seen a pregnant female cat or witnessed the cat birth. He just thought they spawned at random points and set out into the world. I guess dude was truly, deeply stupid. Why are you dodging like this? They couldn't hit an elephant at this distance. General John Sedgwick, shot in the head, moments later. Had a childhood friend who had a big fish tank in his room. The water was low and he commented on how much water the fish were drinking. I said it was probably evaporating. He said, "What's that?" So I explained the water cycle to him and he thought I was making the whole thing up. I said, "Where do you think rain comes from?" And he said, "God makes it, duh." He was homeschooled. So I said, "Where do you think water on the ground goes?" And he said, "It soaks into the ground." I said, "What about water puddles on pavement?" He said, "It soaks into the pavement." He then continued to make fun of me for the rest of the day, calling me stupid because I didn't believe God made more rain every time it rained and thinking it disappeared into the sky to make clouds. We were probably 14 or 15 at the time and it was pre-smartphones, so I couldn't Google it to prove him wrong. The spork is the devil's utensil because it is the amalgamation of the masculine fork and the feminine spoon and is trying to blur gender lines in society. If you're an atheist, that means you're not allowed to use the Roman calendar because it was invented by Christians. A girl I knew not only told me over an entire dinner how she'd figured out that aliens really were real, but when I went by her place later to hang out, she showed me her evidence file. most of which was pulled from Netflix. Among the claims were that there was a tower on the moon the size of 4 Empire State Buildings. She invited me to come to see her give a presentation on this. I went, wanting to be polite. She legit made an hour-long seminar on how aliens were real, showing clips from various YouTube sightings and Netflix documentaries. I once got a cool toothbrush when I was little and I asked with big excited eyes, "Is it waterproof?" And after they said yes, I ran to the bathroom and ran it under the tap repeatedly in amazement. One time a customer asked me if we sold any unfrozen ice. I looked at him incredulous, and when I saw he was serious I chuckled, was trying really hard not to burst out laughing, while asking, "You mean water?" "It's behind you." He goes, "No, unfrozen ice." I stood there blankly looking at him. He gave an exasperated grunt and left. I laughed and was left wondering WTF he actually wanted.